is Dr. Ishwari. Today's session we are going to discuss about the capital structure. In that capital structure, it is a combination of proprietary capital and the borrowed capital. Proprietary capital is the combination of equity share capital, preference share capital and resource and surplus. And coming to the borrowed capital, it is a combination of, it is a long-term debt, it is a combination of the venture capital and the bonds or any long-term bank loans. So here they are having a contractual obligations after completion of the maturity period. They should pay the rate of interest on that. Agreed rate of interest they should pay to them. So here they are having a contractual obligation. Based on that capital structure, we can determine, we can assume the risk and the flexibility and the liquidity of the firm. So these are all we can be assumed from that capital structure. So how we can determine the capital structure, nature and size of the firm. In case if I take in the public sector, we should go for the equity capital. In case of large scale industries, they need the huge capital. In case of the small scale, they need a minimum capital required for them. In case of it is the private sector, they should not go for public issues. Very limited capital required to them. So based on nature and size of the firm, based on large capital, medium scale or small scale or public sectors or private enterprises, based on that the amount will be depending on that, either equity capital or debt capital. And coming to the stability of earnings, if they are having good earnings, the company is going to increase the profit value. No need to go through the external source of the financing. They can retain the value. They can retain the profits. They can go for the resources surplus, or they can get the amount from the external sources or from the equity shareholders, like that. Stability of earnings and stages of life cycle. Here we are taking the life cycle of the industry: introduction stage, growth stage, introduction, growth and maturity and saturation or the declining position. In that introduction stage, they must have the huge amount for uplifting the company to the growth position. In case of the growth position also, they are having the huge capital, the required huge capital. In that maturity position also, they required the capital. In that saturation position, that much of the capital not required. That much of the amount not required to them. So based on that, the stages, the capital will be depending on that. Initial stage they can go for the equity. At that growth position also they can go for the equity capital. At that maturity position, they should think about that issuing of equity or getting the debt amount from the outsourcers, but because they are in that saturation position. So based on that life cycle, it will be depending on that. And cash flow ability, if the company is having good cash flow ability, good recovery of the debt and good sales value and capital appreciation value, if they are having good financial position, good financial soundness, they can go for enhancing portion of the company. And the cost of capital. So when the cost of capital will be increased, it is a combination of debt and equity. And preference. Cost of debt will be more expensive than cost of equity. Why? Because here they are having the contractual obligation. In case of the cost of equity, they should pay the dividends to them or retain the value. Or retain the values. And rate of corporate tax. So the corporate tax, if the government has to increase the tax the capital will be impacting on the capital structure. Interest value will be deducting from the taxes. Or if I take the dividends, dividend will be taxable. So based on the capital tax rates, they can go for acquiring the capital. And retaining control, they must have the retaining control. For example, if they had to pay the regular dividends to the shareholders, this is a good sign of the company. So more number of the investors are attracted to invest in that company. Or if they are having good retaining position for implementing new proposals, new innovations in that company, it will be impacting on the profitable position of the company. So they must have the retaining control, or if they have to retain the amount, it will be impacting on the attitude of the investors. They may be left from that company. It will be impacting on the financial position of that company also. So that's why retaining controlling also will be impacting on the capital structure and trading and equity. Where the equities are trading? In the secondary market. Secondary market. If they are having goodwill or broad, or they are having good capital appreciation, automatically more number of the investors are ready to invest in that company. So based on that trading also, it will be impacting on that capital structure. And the legal requirements also. In some situations, the government has to insist some legal requirements. Based on that, they must have to obey. It is also impacting on the capital structures. And nature of investor. Investors' attitudes are differ. It will be, according to our assumptions, investors are homogeneous expectations. No, it's not really. It should not be. It should not be in that real situations. They are not in that homogeneous expectations. It's very sensitive. If you have to invest 1 rupee in that market, you must have to expect at least 25% from that. Investors' attitudes are differ from one investor to another investors. In case in that good economic position, one investor is going to invest, they want to invest in the equity market. Another investor want to invest in the debt market. Why? Because they have some fears. If you have to invest in the equity market, in case if it may have any sensitive issues, like right now the COVID-19 or any earthquakes or any natural calamities or any disasters, they must have some fears. Based on the fear, they may unable to enter into the equity market. They can go for debt market. So that's why the nature of the investor also, it will be impacting on the capital structures. And seasonal variations. If you are taking the seasonal goods like the refrigerator or the umbrellas or the geysers or air coolers or air conditioners, the demand will be increased based on the particular season only. In that season, they need the additional capital. So at that time, they can go for issuing the capital. So at the situation here, the financial manager, they can think which type of the capital is safe to them. In case if I are taking the equity capital, it will be safe for them compared to the debt capital because it's a lock-in value. After that maturity period, they should have to pay the fixed rate of interest to them. So based on that attitude of that financial manager, they can go for raising the capital. And timing of public issue. It is the time to issue the shares to the investors initially. When it is in the good economic position, that is the right time to invest. But here the investors are differ. Like for example, if I are taking COVID-19, corona situations, all the investors are thinking now the share values are in the declining position. Why? Because nobody is having salaries. There's no companies are running, no factories are running. So all are in this loss position. So that's why more number of the investors are exit from the stock market. Why? Because it's a sensitive issue. a small issue, it has to break the stock indices. So that's why automatically the value has to be decreased. Based on that analysis, good economic position is the right time to issue the shares to the public initially. And in case if it may have any sensitive issues like as war or any pandemic situations or any disaster situations, it's not the right time to issue the public issue. So these are all the factors which will be impacting on the capital structures. Thank you.